For 2,000 years, historians said Cleopatra's tomb was lost forever, dragged into the Mediterranean by earthquakes and time. They were wrong. Archaeologists have just broken into something that was never supposed to exist. Deep beneath the limestone bedrock of Egypt's northern coast, a sealed underground system has been physically breached, one that rewrites everything we thought we knew about Cleopatra's death. History told us her final resting place vanished beneath the sea, swallowed when ancient Alexandria collapsed into the eastern harbour. Scholars accepted that story. Textbooks repeated it. The case was closed. But at a site called Osiris Magna, excavators have uncovered something impossible. A vast, engineered network hidden underground. A structure that doesn't belong to a temple and wasn't built for the living. And by the end of this video, you'll see why many archaeologists now believe Cleopatra's tomb was never lost. It was hidden. On purpose. The criminal profile that shifted. The search to Osiris Magna. The shock didn't stop at the architecture. Inside the burial shafts, they found mummies with tongues made of solid gold. Silent sentinels prepared to speak to the gods. These weren't just random artifacts. They were the calculated components of a Plan B. A secret fortress, engineered by the last pharaoh to protect her body from Roman desecration. The tomb isn't lost anymore. It is opening up, piece by terrifying piece. For centuries, the search for Cleopatra was dictated by the victors. The Roman historians Plutarch and Cassius Dio wrote the script that academia followed blindly, claiming the queen was buried in the royal district of Alexandria beside Mark Antony. When the Great Tsunami of 365 CE struck, that district sank into the eastern harbour, and historians accepted that the tomb was gone. But a new forensic approach has shattered that assumption. Dr. Kathleen Martinez, a criminal lawyer turned archaeologist, looked at this not as a history lesson, but as a cold case crime scene. The logic is chillingly simple. Cleopatra was a master strategist who spoke multiple languages and outmaneuvered the most powerful men in Rome. She knew Octavian intended to parade her in chains through the streets of Rome as a trophy. She would never have entrusted her eternal body, the vessel required for her resurrection, to the man who conquered her. She needed a sanctuary, a place Octavian would never suspect. She needed the great tomb of Osiris. Osiris Magna wasn't just a temple, it was a cover story. Located 45 kilometers away from the capital, it offered the perfect camouflage for a clandestine burial. Hidden in plain sight, the geometric miracle buried beneath the bedrock. The theory became physical reality in 2022 with the discovery that the Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities immediately classified as a geometric miracle. Carved through solid sandstone and limestone, 13 to 20 meters underground. The team unearthed a tunnel of staggering proportions. This isn't a simple passageway. It spans 1,305 meters. A precise engineered artery cutting through the earth. The walls form a perfect inverted U shape, a hallmark of advanced construction that defies the primitive tools of the era. The engineering strikingly parallels the legendary tunnel of Eupalinos in Greece, a geometric marvel famous for being excavated simultaneously from both ends to meet with absolute precision in the middle. Yet the Osiris tunnel serves a much darker, more urgent purpose. While it possesses the hydraulic gradient of an aqueduct, its cavernous dimensions were specifically sculpted to allow for human passage, heading directly seaward. This was the hidden highway, a subterranean lifeline carved through the bedrock. It acted as the vital logistical link that enabled a somber funeral procession to transport a sarcophagus from the coast to the sanctuary, without ever being detected by Octavian's Roman patrols swarming the surface. This discovery changes everything. It proves the site was not merely a temple, but a stage prepared for a high-value, covert operation. A final, desperate engineering feat designed to secure an eternal, secret resting place for Egypt's last pharaoh. The submerged port and the mechanics of a secret funeral. If the tunnel was the road, then the 2024 and 2025 expeditions revealed the gateway. Collaborating with deep-sea legends like Robert Ballard, the team pushed their search offshore and found what should have been impossible. 3 kilometers out, beneath the crushing weight of the Mediterranean, lies a constructed harbour. we aren't talking about a natural bay. These are colossal stone structures, breakwaters and quays rising 20 feet from the seabed. Divers reported touching polished floors and cemented blocks, the undeniable footprint of a grand ceremonial entrance. The presence of toppled basalt columns confirms that high-status, monumental architecture once dominated this coastline before the land liquefied and ultimately sank into the Mediterranean. But the evidence extends beyond the architecture. The seabed is littered with massive stone anchors and scattered Ptolemaic amphorae, proving this was not a remote outpost, but a fully operational and sophisticated maritime hub. This discovery completes the compelling Plan B narrative. Amidst the violent chaos of the Roman occupation, a vessel carrying the royal mummies could stealthily slip out of Alexandria. Travelling west along the coast to avoid the blockade, it would dock at this secret, now submerged port. From the water's edge, the procession would vanish into the tunnel, carried deep into the earth. It was a masterstroke of evasion, ensuring the queen was safely entombed before the Roman patrols even realised she was gone. The face of the queen and the dynastic proof. Critics have long argued that Osiris Magna was just a minor outpost. But the artefacts tell a different story. The excavation recovered a stunning alabaster head, damaged but regal, bearing the distinct royal headband of the Ptolemies. While scholars debate the identity, the facial structure aligns with the real face of Cleopatra seen on the coinage. Not the beautified Hollywood version, but the smoking gun lies in the numbers. The team recovered a hoard of over 337 coins from the site. These coins are more than just currency. They are political statements bearing Cleopatra's unmistakable profile. Their sheer volume proves the temple was not a forgotten ruin, but a heavily patronised and economically active sanctuary during her specific reign. It was a functioning centre of her imperial cult, alive with worship and tribute. Furthermore, the excavation unearthed foundation plates made of gold, silver and glass, inscribed by Ptolemy IV, linking this site irrevocably to her ancestors. This connection is crucial. Cleopatra viewed herself as the living incarnation of Isis, the great mother goddess, and the culmination of her dynasty. It makes perfect strategic and spiritual sense that she would choose to rest here. This was a temple founded by her bloodline, a sanctuary where the tangible history of her family and the divine mythology of her goddess were inextricably intertwined, offering the perfect vessel for her eternal resurrection. The ocean floor and the bedrock are finally talking. We're no longer dealing with a myth, we are looking at a coordinate, the geometric miracle of the tunnel, the submerged ceremonial port, and the mummies silenced by gold, all point to a single, inescapable conclusion. The history of Cleopatra's death was a Roman lie, but her burial was an Egyptian masterpiece. She didn't disappear into the sea, she went underground. As the excavations drain the water from the deep tunnels, we are standing on the precipice of the greatest archaeological find of the 21st century. The Queen is down there, and she is waiting. If you want to see what happens when that final door is breached, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. The deep dive is just beginning.